Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. This video is being started in a slightly different format. So I am trying to expand. I am trying to do something different, something new. So I'm kind of updating my office setup because I want to do more kind of interactive videos, share stories with you guys. You know, something like my best purchases, my worst purchases, and then take videos at request from you guys, the viewers, so that there's more interaction because I'm getting emails, I'm getting phone calls, I'm getting text messages from my followers on my YouTube channel. And if they have questions, if you guys have questions, then I'm sure others also have questions. And I've been in this business for almost 6 years now. So I feel like there's definitely a lot in my head that I could share. So this video is kind of an introduction of what's to come to the channel. But if you guys are following the channel, the previous video we left off, I picked up my Mazda from my mechanic and I was heading over to my parents' house to help my father. So the Mazda runs great, but that's where we left off on the previous video. So we don't waste any more time. Let's jump into the video where we left off and continue our story. Well guys, it's a new day. Yesterday I told you that we will resume once it's dark and the cars are getting delivered. But that didn't happen because my tow guy, who brings me all of my cars, so he picked up the BMW that I told you guys about, I think on Monday. Today is Wednesday. But he was supposed to pick up the Audi I was telling you guys about yesterday, and he didn't make it. So he's picking it up today. So I don't have the Audi, but I do have the BMW. It is right in front of me. And this did get delivered last night, but I don't got a video because I figured, you know, we'll just do it here and now. Beautiful wagon. The jump boxes were dead, so we weren't able to start it yesterday or here at Run. So what you guys will hear today is going to be a cold start on this car. But here's the interior. It's not super filthy. Looks like we're missing the trim around the shift knob. Everything else looks pretty good. Nice Michelin tires with probably like 70-80% tread left. So this car was a theft recovery. It still retained a clean title though. We do have a Carfax for it supporting that. So it looks like it'll probably need a new battery if we start it once we start it. And then a detail, pass it through DQ, and this one should be a fairly easy sale if it has no other mechanical issues. The other thing I gotta do today is take the Nissan through DQ and then start driving this one. Make sure there's no check engine light, make sure all the onboard readiness systems go through their cycle and there's no issues. If there aren't, then I'll clean this one up and it should be ready to go. Go ahead. Oh, we got some lights. Nothing, no start. Yeah, it doesn't even crank. But my tow guy said that Monday when he picked it up, he dropped it off at his yard where he stores cars. And he said they had it running, it ran fine, but the battery was just dead. But they were able to jump start it, but it just doesn't want to start right now. Nothing? Oh, this is a power trunk. Except it doesn't really lift up super high. Looks like the struts are a little weak. Someone was here before. Maybe my brother, maybe not. I don't know. But we're gonna find the battery that's here in the trunk, right here. We're gonna throw a jump box on it and see if 2 jump boxes will get this thing started. Still nothing. Guys, well, this is very surprising, very disappointing. Here we have a starter issue. because electronics work, but I mean, it doesn't even click. It doesn't, there's nothing with it. I mean, that seems fine, but who knows? I think we're gonna put it in neutral and park it by the Mustang because it's kind of very awkwardly in the middle of nothing. I mean, we have a battery light right there. Yeah, but it's really weird. There's like literally nothing. No clicking. The car doesn't even try. Like, that's the other interesting part. Like a transmission malfunction. But that could be because we forced it in neutral. Well guys, we are kind of stumped. There was a video of the car running before we bought it. There's, you know, let me take this. Andre says he did not take any of this stuff apart here. So that means someone was here. And that's not a good sign. That's never a good sign. So, see the windshield wiper going off for some reason. There it goes. I guess we'll kind of leave it at that for now. And if we get it started, we'll let you guys know.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
No luck getting this thing started. Andre just took that through DQ, hopefully passed with no issues. If you did pass with no issues, we're taking the Scion through. I have my engine reader. We're gonna see if the onboard readiness tests are completed on this. If they are, then we're taking that through DQ. Then the Scion should be listed today, and this will be listed today if no issue. He has a certificate in his hand. Passed no issues, yeah? Yeah. Perfect. So here we have it. Not all supported IM monitor test complete. So Mazda is not ready, which is no big deal, no surprise. I mean, battery was dead when I took it to my mechanic, and you know, I've only driven 30-40 miles since picking it up from his place. So it'll take a little bit more driving. I'll probably give it to my wife so she could drive it a little bit, but maybe by tomorrow that car will be ready to go. I joined Copart because my my truck is going through today, and I'm looking at it. Now you guys can look at it. $5,700 bid on my truck.
Sold on approval. Bidder.
Guys, I am baffled, because I paid $3,200 into that truck. I just made $2 grand on that truck. That is so awesome. Oh man, that was great. So Andre's coming back on the Scion. It passed DQ. I have buyers coming out right now to look at the Nissan Frontier, and then I have buyers for the Audi. Once all of that is done, then we're gonna go to Mannheim and pick up that Mercedes.
Much later.
Oh, still at the office. I'm not complaining though, but I realized that I have a whole bunch of office paperwork to do. I sold my 2015 Subaru WRX. I took a $300 loss on it because I floored that car and I had it for 2 months, so the fees added up. And for whatever reason, I wasn't getting much interest in it. Although I sold it for more than what I bought it for, but after fees, flooring fees and then seller's fees, I essentially lost $300. So I had to do paperwork for that. I'll need to drop it off at Mannheim when I pick up the Mercedes. I just sold the Audi convertible that I have. I'm also about to sell the Nissan Frontier, which you guys saw in the previous video. I mean, it's tax season. Everything's moving along. I should have a buyer for the Ford Mustang that I have. And Andre went to the car wash to clean up the engine bay a little bit. So once he gets back, Scion will be ready to go. But as you guys can see, the lot is looking pretty darn empty. So I only have what? Oh, and then I have a buyer for the Subaru. So that might be sold today too. And at that point, the only problematic car I have is that Jetta, which I don't have an answer for yet. And then the BMW, because we can't figure out why it's not running yet. But guys, like I said, there's a lot of cars coming in. I think there's 9 new cars coming in. Actually, well, 8, because you guys saw the BMW and you saw the Scion. So I don't know, maybe 6, 7 new cars that you guys haven't seen. coming soon. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do, so you see all the fun stuff that's happening. This business is growing, and honestly, I am on my path to set a record in this business for me in 1 month. I think so. That's a nice record. So we'll see how this month ends, but so far, thank you to Lord above, I am doing very, very well. And I think, just that I don't blabber and, you know, a whole bunch of talking, we will resume when we go to, I think, Mannheim.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Frontier sold, Audi sold, Mustang buyer didn't come through again. So we are leaving, taking this cashier's check to the bank, depositing it, and then we are heading to Mannheim. So we'll be at Mannheim. Split second for you guys. We are at Mannheim now. Man, I love that it's a nice day and it looks like, you know, spring is coming, summer's right around the corner. It just makes you feel so much better, you know what I mean? But you guys saw the Mercedes. Hopefully it's not sagging like it did yesterday. If it will, then shoot, I don't know. I mean, we're still gonna grab it, it's been paid for, but I guess we'll see. And then I'm gonna take it to the lot. Hopefully no issues on a longer drive. And then I think we're gonna wrap up the video. And everything else will be in a following video. I know I told you guys that, you know, there's a V10 Audi coming. If you do wanna see what V10 Audi I bought, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There it is, guys. It still seems a little bit lower than it should be, but we'll start it, let it pump up air, and then kind of go from there. And I guess within a day, 2, 3, we'll find out. Mercedes has been pulled out. We are leaving Mannheim, going back to the lot, and we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Alrighty guys, Mercedes made it, and the Mustang buyer is here. So we'll see how long that takes, and then we'll see if it loses any air and kind of go from there.
A few moments later.
Well guys, Mustang is sold. I guess Mazda's ready for DQ, because I had him checked, but I think DQ is closed by now. Let's see what time it is. Oh, he might make it. Look at him go! Because if it is ready and he does pass, guess what's ready to go? That Mazda! Man, but that's fantastic. My mechanic fixed it. So Mustang is gone. So literally what I have on a 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars. But I do have more coming. But guys, I sold 4 or 5 cars today. And we're gonna wrap up this video. But I guess I just wanted to do a final check of the GL350. I mean, I personally think it looks pretty darn good. We stopped by Alex's. He says he really doesn't like this body style. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like this style? I mean, personally, I would go for the GL550. And I agree, it already looks dated. It's nearly 10 years old, but for what it is, it looks pretty darn good. You know, it's been parked for the last 30 minutes. Air suspension seems like it's holding up. But regardless, I'm like 8 grand into it. I know the air struts are not super expensive anymore. I know Arnott builds very good ones, like aftermarket replacements, which are really, really good quality. The only thing is labor, and I'd probably take it to my mechanic. And I actually told my mechanic about this car, and he absolutely loves these things. So he said, bring it by my shop. I might buy it for my wife. So if I bring it to him to work on the air suspension, if it needs it, then, you know, he could take it out for a spin, whatever. If he decides to buy it, then great, sold. Another one gone. But that's what it is, guys. You saw in this video 2 purchases, Scion and the Mercedes. A whole bunch of other stuff happened. I appreciate you guys joining. I appreciate you guys watching. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. There's a lot of cars coming, and 2 of them I am very, very excited about. So if you want to see those, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video.